All right, we're recording. Yay! Okay, so happy end of month. This has been like a crazy, crazy fun month. It's been really fun to see just everybody kind of running together, having fun with it, kind of busting through all these, mental blocks that, you've had, and seeing so many rank ups, oh my gosh, across the company. It's been so fun. But so Amy and I and Amanda and I don't know if Megan and Taryn are on here, but we have all been talking, and we really want to work over these next couple months, especially over this next 90 days, because we firmly believe that in the next 90 days, our team is going to be seeing an explosion of rank ups. Explosion. Like, we are in like baby stages of momentum right now, and I'm just watching it build and build and build on itself almost on a daily basis, from starting last month, this month, and it's just going to keep going, right? So we've got to foster that, and there's some tools that we can do and some things that we can do, and we want to empower you guys over the course of just going forward, not just 90 days, but going forward in your business, to have some really good tools to provide the best experience possible for everybody on your team, your customers, ambassadors, for providing a good business foundation for yourself to build a legacy business for yourself within this company as well. And one of the topics that I wanted to talk to you guys about, we have been talking in the Rank Makers chat thread about this list that we have of folks that didn't order that ordered last month but have not placed an order this month. And the reason that I wanted to focus on these people and why those people are so critical is every single one of those people, and they can have a million reasons why they are not placing an order this month, but fundamentally and foundationally in this business, they have come to us for results, whether that is weight loss or whatever it is. They came to us to have some sort of experience with some sort of goal in mind. They wanted to try the products, that kind of thing. The first indicator that maybe things aren't going the way that they thought they were is them not ordering, right? Like, they're not placing another order of triplex, so something's probably going on. And it might not have anything to do with the products, life happens, but we don't know that if we don't check in. And I want you guys to kind of think of this as when people come to Plexus, they hire you as their coach, almost like a trainer. Like, if you go into the gym and you hire a trainer at the gym because you're like, you know what, I want to get strong, I want to get healthy, I want to lose some weight, whatever that is, and you start going to the sessions, doing the sessions, and then you stop going to the sessions that you have already paid for, and the trainer's like, what's going on? Sarah didn't show up for a session today. And then you also don't re-up and get the next sessions. I would expect, because I heard that trainer to be my accountability partner, to be the one that's like, hey girl, you got to come to the gym if you want the results. Let's talk about the results. Let's talk about this. Are these times not working for you anymore? What's going on? Can we tweak this? Are you not getting the results from me that you like? What have you? I would expect that he is kind of my accountability partner. And so in Plexus, our folks, if Amy comes to me and she's having issues on the products, or more times than not, they don't ever tell us that they're having issues on the products. We have to kind of reach out and find out about that. That's where, the things happen. And so, we lose customers, we lose ambassadors, and we don't need to be losing them. All that needs to happen is some simple regimen changes, some support, maybe some accountability, and maybe some tough love sometimes. I've definitely had a lot of situations where I'm like, no, okay, let's revisit why you came to me in the first place. Don't give up on yourself, and they'll have a setback that turns into a permanent one. And that's the last thing that we want. We want people leaving. If they're leaving Plexus, we want them to have had a good experience, and we want to have dotted all our I's and crossed all our T's and made sure that we supported them the best way possible. The worst thing that can happen, because you guys, these are human beings. You're a human being talking to a human being doing this. The worst thing that can happen is Tanya stops ordering. She's my friend, and I never ask her why. I just let it go. And I never checked back in. And she's like, man, like Sarah did not care at all about that. Like, how many times have you maybe bought from another network marketing company or some kind of company and you just didn't feel valued? That's the worst possible experience. At least have the exit interview with them if they are truly walking away from Plexus, and figure out why, you know? So that's the biggest thing. And that's why I pulled that specific list, because it has the power to impact those people's results so much. This is their quit point. Like, this is their possibly quit point. This is the point where they either troubleshoot and we figure out what's going wrong with their regimen. We give them the results they were actually after. You know, they're not feeling the energy. They're not. What if we just tossed them a bag of active and added that to their subscription, and suddenly they were getting the energy to feel good to work out, and it changes everything, right? We need to have those conversations. And further, just from, you know, and I'll get into everything after this, but further beyond that, for you guys, I know you guys that are on here are wanting to build a legacy business in Plexus, and you're wanting to have success from the business standpoint. Every single day that we show up in our business, we are the CEO of our own business. And I want you guys to imagine walking into a brick and mortar store, and if you were starting to, you know, if you had customers that were super, super loyal and then they just stopped showing up, you would probably reach out to them. Like, it's your business to see what's going on with your loyal customers. It's your business to make sure that their orders are getting shipped out to them in the time that they want. I don't know what's happening out there, sorry. You know, that their orders are coming in at the time that they want, and that they are getting the best possible experience that they can. So the foundation of our business is, and the goal is to create loyal Plexus users for life, not because we want the points and the ranks and all that kind of stuff in the back office, but because they genuinely love Plexus and can't live without it, just like we do. We want them to fall in love with it just like we have. And that means providing support, providing tough love, providing the accountability, and troubleshooting not necessarily being a bad thing. So that's what that list is all about. Amy, I think, was going to go into a little bit more. Did you want to add to that a little bit?
Yeah, let me unmute myself. Sorry. So I just wanted to tack onto there. And, you know, Suzette, you kind of alluded to it a little bit there in the chat, that so often it's our own internal mindset that puts us in that fear state for reaching out, when we just have to flip that switch and realize this is what we do as our business. It is not a bother. If they didn't want to talk to me, they shouldn't have ordered from me, kind of thing, right? And I think, and I'm guilty of it as anyone, you spend so much time on the front end getting them to order, and then we get cold feet after they have. Like, we're really good for a little bit, and then we get cold feet when maybe they don't respond or they've quit ordering. But this is our business. And so I think what Sarah's getting at, you know, being the CEO of our business, listen, we are seeing all of these ranks happen, right? Our company is in huge momentum during a pandemic. And I know that our time is coming here in the next 30, 60, 90 days. But in order to do that, we got to flip that switch and realize we are doing these things because that's what you do in this business, right? We reach out to people, we follow up with people, we get them on the combos because, look, they came to us for results, and we know deep down the results they want, they're not going to get just on ProBio 5, right? So it's having those conversations, but not being afraid to. And oftentimes it comes down to the story we're telling ourselves. So if we're telling ourselves in our head, I don't want to bug this person, that's the energy that's going to come through. So we need to flip that switch. And I'm excited to start using more of these kind of, I call them our business tools, because when you use things like this report, then it makes working your business kind of something you don't even have to think about. You don't even have time for those stories to come into your head, because you're just looking at this report and you're reaching out to people because it's what we do in the business. So,
well, and I was going to add to that too, is, you know, looking through your virtual office and seeing all those names and everything like that, each of those people is a human being. You know, it's not 5 points in your back office and what have you. They're a human being. And what we've done with Plexus, twofold, we're either providing, or both, you know, either or, and what have you. We're providing a solution for something that's happened in their life. So whether that's financial, whether it is health, or whether it's both or a combination, right? So we need to remember that, and don't allow our fear to stop their success from happening before it even gets started, right? So we're being selfish in self-preservation, which is, our brain's natural way of saying, oh, no, you don't want to get rejected. You don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation. You don't want to do the hard thing. It protects you. And so that fear response is, it's easier to not reach out, but that does damage long-term, because you're not providing, and it's not just you that's having that thought. If they're ready to go, the worst possible thing they can say is, hey, Tanya, I'm sorry, it's not working for me. I'm done. I can't afford it, whatever. And you talk through that. You don't just let it be. You talk through, you have the conversation, provide empathy, and do all the things, and just have the human conversation, right? But if at the end of the day, if they don't want to return, make that exit a positive one for both of you guys, so that when their timing aligns again, because sometimes it's just a timing thing, they'll remember, oh, she was awesome. I know where to go, who's going to love on me, who's going to give me help, who's going to have, bring me success when I'm ready to do it. Because 9 times out of 10, timing's changed. Like, timing maybe was right when they first started, and something's happened and now it's not, right? They will come back. I am seeing that 6 years in. People come back all the time that have left, but they're not going to come back if they had a horrible experience. So I'm going to share my screen. I think Amy was going to talk about, hold on, let me share my screen.
Yeah. So, while she's getting that up, guys, it's customer care. Like you said, Nicole, customer service systems. And it's flipping that switch. Because guys, when we reach out to people, it is not about money. It's not about our paycheck. It's not about our points. That might be what happens down the road from reaching out, but they're giving money for a product that they expect to work. We're just the conduit to make sure that that's happening, and we're their support, right? So you got to take the money piece off of the table. So let me pull my notes up here. So Sarah came up with this great idea. Sarah, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about your thinking behind it, but she realized, guys, on her whole team, there are over 750 points sitting there of people who ordered last month, meaning they ordered over 100, they got a combo, they're rocking and rolling. They haven't ordered this month. Right. So what that tells us is it's an opportunity to impact their success. Something has happened. We can't assume what it is to halt them on their journey, right? It could be anything from they have an overstock. It could be anything, they hit die off and are scared. They've quit. They forgot about it, right? But we don't know. We can't make those assumptions. And it's a huge opportunity to have some action we need to take to support these folks. And on down the road, it could mean big things for retention, for points, for rank, for your business. But right now, it's about this person. It means they need a check-in. They need either a regimen switch up. They need some product support. So she pulled this list. And here's kind of our plan to tackle it. She came up with super easy 4 simple steps, right? So she sent an email out. Sarah, if I'm talking over you, I've lost the screen here somewhere on my,
no worries.
There we go. Okay. So what she did last night is she sent an email out. She put the link to it in the rank makers. It was beautiful. Okay. And she sent to all these folks with a coupon code and an offer to chat about their products and kind of thank you for being on the team. Now, that may not be something we always do, right? Because this coupon's coming out of her personal wallet, but running these reports and doing these reach outs, we will. So she gave that report to all of the jewels. I looked at it this morning. I sent messages to anyone on my team who had someone on that report. If you did not get a message and you think you should have, reach out to your nearest jewel. So if you're on my team, reach out to me. But not everyone is going to have someone on that list. Remember, it's people who ordered last month, were happy, 100 PV, haven't ordered at all this month, okay? There might be some people that fall through the cracks because maybe they have 50 PV this month, so you guys may want to look at that. This is the 100s to the zeros. And then we want to start reaching out in advance. And because she sent that coupon, it really kind of gives us an easy buy-in. So you could start by reaching out and say like, hey, wanted to check in, see if we can chat about your results so far, see if we need to make any tweaks in your regimen, really optimize your order and make sure you're getting the best results you can. How are things going, right? You always want to end with that open-ended question that they feel like they need to reply to. If they reply back, then that gives you the opportunity to talk to them. And like Sarah always says, I think sometimes we get so caught up in what should we say? I don't know what to say, what to do. And then we forget that really they're just humans. Like talk to them like you would your girlfriend on the phone, right? Say, okay, like what products do you have? What are you currently taking? Tell me what you're feeling. And don't be afraid to have those conversations. And sometimes we have to give them permission to tell us the bad stuff. We have to let them know it's okay to tell me you haven't taken it for 3 days. Like it's okay to tell me you have some die-off or some detox and it's kind of freaked you out a little bit. But then you want to provide a recommendation, whatever that looks like for that person. Sometimes you guys know you've been doing this. Sometimes it's they're on the wrong product. Sometimes we need to tweak it. Sometimes they're not being consistent. But then you also are able to reference the email that was sent last night. And you can ask them if they got it, suggest if they want to use it on the order. They just need to respond to her email because it expires. Doesn't mean that's the focus of your conversation. It's just a nice little add-on. Because the focus of your conversation is on their success on their products, right? They may have a huge stack of products in their pantry. We don't know what their situation is. So provide that recommendation, but then you can reference that message from Sarah. Now, if they ghosted you, so I'll tell you, I had somebody ghost me. She approached me last month. She joined. She was like so excited to get back on the products. We were messaging back and forth for so many days. And then she ordered her welcome pack. And then we messaged for several days. And now nothing. She has completely ghosted me, right? So here's some things we can do. One, shoot them a text. Make sure they saw your message. Guys, do not be afraid of that phone. I know we say pick it up, but don't be afraid of the actual phone. We have everybody's information on their account. Right? That is not us like scooping and Googling and stalking someone. We have their information. You can text them. And sometimes I'll say like, hey, this is your product support check-in. I sent you a message on Facebook, but I know a lot of times, you're not on there. I just want to see how you're feeling. Okay. Sometimes guys, you can send a funny meme, right? If they've been ghosting you on Messenger and then no response on text, send them a funny meme.
I love doing that.
Because often we forget that even if they're really good friends of ours, even if they reached out to us and are so gung-ho, for whatever reason, when something happens and they can't order because of money, they quit taking their products for a number of reasons, or they're not going to order this month, they're afraid to tell us. Oftentimes it's because they don't want to hurt our feelings. And so when we send that funny meme or we crack a joke and we make it light, and then we give them permission to just have a real conversation with us, that really, really breaks the ice. And so don't overthink it. Just pretend like it's, a friend of yours. Like, how many times do you send funny memes to people? So I like to do that a lot if they ghost you. In fact, yesterday I messaged the girl who's ghosted me and nothing. She has seen it. So today is my funny meme day that I'm going to send to her.
Well, and too, I wanted to just add like the thought process behind the email, because I'm not going to give incentives every single month or anything like that. But I want to kind of get us in the habit of just having like, we're providing that service, and this is just like a little extra for them to be like, look, we love you, we care about you. This isn't about having success in May. It really isn't. It's about the success for them and for us over the long term. Like, we want to make sure that these guys stay around. They're foundational in our business. Everybody is, right? And so we want to make sure that they're having the best success. If they're having to switch up the regimen because, maybe we got them on the wrong regimen or they bought the wrong thing and that kind of thing, the $10 coupon code is supposed to be kind of like an olive branch of saying like, okay, try something new. Like, I'm so sorry. And you can even talk about 60-day money back guarantee on things, like whatever that looks like. But we want them to be like, okay, I feel good about trying another, grouping of products, and maybe I'll get what I'm after. And a lot of times too, the goalpost moved, and maybe they didn't realize that the results they were actually after was not weight loss, but energy or whatever, So at the end of the day, you guys, what we want to do is do this every single month, and just provide this kind of more of a list to you guys and some extra views into your business. But like Amy said, if you guys get in your reports every single day and tackle the perks report, because that's the biggest indicator. That's when you see these people turn off. But these people actually didn't have subscriptions. They were just ordering. So they're the one-off orders. And so when I'm responding to each of these people that have been messaging me an email asking for the codes, I have explained to them the perks system as well, so that I'm like, look, if you turn, here's your coupon code, so happy to give it to you. Awesome. So excited that you're going to, place an order. But then I go into, if I can help you on your regimen, if I can give you any additional information on the products to help you with your goals, happy to do that. But I also want to let you know that way more robust than this $10 that I have is our perks program, the hemp, the free shipping, all of that, because that adds up to way more than $10, right? So I'm kind of transitioning that conversation into, let's maybe set up your subscription if you're wanting to do this long term, but let's have a conversation about it, right? Ideally, I want you guys to be having that conversation with them, and then them just reaching out and getting the coupon code. But I send it to everybody so that we can catch those that maybe are not answering messages or whatever that looks like. Every single response back that I have had has turned into a really good conversation with the person. So it's definitely been positive. But don't be afraid of troubleshooting. Don't be afraid of having these conversations. This is why we do this. We're in the business of helping people. We're in the business of providing a solution to their problems, and we're in the business of providing hope and accountability. And that's the biggest thing. It's really easy for our friends to give up on themselves, to give up on their goals. And if you're the person that picks them up when they're feeling down, that's a pretty awesome feeling to then see a year later huge success in weight loss, huge success in their business, huge success in whatever it is. Remind them that they didn't come this far to only get this far. They had bigger goals than what is currently being, happening. So, Amy, did you want to add anything more to that?
I did, just one piece. I posted a story, Sarah posted it too on her team page, about the woman who is a thyroid cancer survivor. She doesn't have her lobes anymore, and she had great success. If you read her story though, she started the products and quit, and she went MIA, and she didn't want to try them again. Only because though her sponsors kept reaching out to her did she come back. But they didn't keep reaching out like, why haven't you ordered? Can you get to 100 PV? What are you going to order this month? They reached out at first and said, why are you stopping? And gave her permission to share. And then, when she said, look, I don't think it's going to work for me. They said, okay, right? It works, but when you're ready, we'll be here. And they just kept that relationship with her. So oftentimes, like, this is a very targeted follow-up, but once you find out why that person ordered 100 PV in April and didn't in May, then those conversations become different, right? And you may have some people that you just have to write in your notebook and say, okay, they're going through some hard times. It's not a time for them. They're not ready to be consistent. I'm going to follow up with her in July, right? But we don't know that if we don't have those conversations.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're saying no to. So paint that picture of what could happen to them over a course of a year of taking the products. Send them a testimony. Be like, look, I know that you don't quite understand the magnitude of what these products are going to do for you, but I know what they're capable of, and I know what you're saying no to. And I want to make sure that you're making the decision. This isn't about me. I don't need your business, none of that. This is about you and the results that you don't even know that you're giving up on. And I want you to have all the information before you walk away from it. And even if they walk away right then, they're probably down the road going to come back. And that's huge. So yeah, that's really what it's all about.
So I'm excited to get back into this habit of really using the reports, really doing these business systems. Nicole called it a customer service system. And it reminded me that, remember guys, when we always used to say, and I am so guilty of this, when you let your people run your business, you fail. Meaning when I make decisions about my business based on those people, I'm going to fail. If I'm not reaching out to so-and-so because I'm afraid of what she's going to think, if I'm not putting so-and-so in the Team Taylor team page or on the Pink Rockstars team page because I'm afraid of what they're going to think, if I'm not adding people and talking to them about silver because I'm afraid of what they're going to think, that's when my business fails. When you do it as a system, meaning I don't care who you are, everyone I sign up goes on the team. I don't care who you are. Everyone that orders from me, I follow up with. I don't care who you are. Everyone I sign up, I talk to about silver. That's when we really see our businesses take that extra step of momentum. And I'm certainly guilty of it. I've been in that place, but I think now with all this company momentum, seeing all you guys excited, you guys are like rocking your businesses, you're reaching out to people. I mean, it's got me like, okay, Amy, time to get back in the game and really do these systems like this business. So.
Yeah, you just have to put everybody in a position to where they can catch the belief. If they're not plugged in and they're not in the community, they don't see what this community is all about, they're not in all the team pages because you're afraid of overwhelm or whatever, that story is that you've told yourself. You are making that decision for them and cutting it off before it ever begins. And that becomes part of a systemic problem on your own personal team. So just embrace the community, because that's one of the largest aspects of why people stay is actually the community. And then especially that testimony page, seeing other people talk about their products and that kind of thing. I mean, you just can't replicate that in a one-on-one conversation with anybody. So anyway, that's all we got. We've probably gone too long anyway.
But we do have so some people may still want that verbiage. We'll drop it back in the Rank Makers or maybe post it on the Rank Makers group. Is it still there?
Yeah.
That way you guys can if you want to do a quick copy paste to reach out, just to give you an idea of how to message.
Yes, but make it personal. That's why I put those links in there. Talk about the actual products they have been taking and those types of things. Change it into your own words. Send it as a voicemail. Do not copy and paste generic messages to these people. Will do the exact opposite of what you want this to be. So, all right, that's all. All right, bye guys. Good luck.